You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the prove. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the prove. You gotta choose. Yeah, I jump out the booth. Then I might hop through the roof. Got all the rings, stuff. My team is the truth, but they some liars to you. And they never sing, but they always shoot. And all of their diamonds are new. And that's why I'm here with villain, cause I really get it. And I need all my honeys in blue. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. Make a choice. I need 100 pack for my boys. Be hating and talking and hating. I bet you I kill the noise. I've been a man like I'm painting. I boost up my rating. You know how I play with toys. Pop out on any occasion, get standing ovations. They can't help it but rejoice. They all wanna follow me, cause I got my foot on the opposition neck and ain't no apologies. 100 yards, you know I own all the property. Daddy's home, you know I own all the property. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose.
Well, later tonight in November, snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside, and of course, a calm day inside U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the Denver Broncos and the Minnesota Vikings. Here's the kicker, Zane Gonzalez, ready to get this one started. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. They begin the drive with Williams. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. That's a pickup of 11 and a first down on their first offensive play.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
So from the 36 now, first and 10. They'll stay on the ground with Williams. We'll get this to about the 38. So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
Now it's Wilson. His throw incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what did you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. It's caught on the right side, Williams. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. So 8 yards on the completion there. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Now Wilson. They're going for Henry, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. It's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions. Can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
On the tackle, it's Randy Gregory.
This defense for the Broncos, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. And this is caught at the 8.
And the Vikings are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
That's a sharp throw right there on 3rd down. They're looking to get the first points of the game, and they certainly don't want it to be on a field goal. So that's a nice job to get the hook up and set up a 1st and goal.
Brady. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Brady to throw again. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. A great play there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Vikings use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away.
Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
And a lot of times a guy like that at this level, all he needs is one block to spring him, and he was sprung.
Just one, and that one turned into a huge, huge play.
Now Wilson on 1st down. And his throw here's incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground incomplete.
They'll run. This is Darrell Henderson. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any.
Touchdown! Javonte Williams. A 9-yard touchdown grab.
And the Broncos are an extra point away from evening this one up.
Extra point from McManus is good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
And not much on this one. Takes it from the 21. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Throwing on first down is Brady. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked by Chad Muma. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it was a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
After the interception, here's Wilson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
I'll give them credit winning that first snap and forcing an incompletion. They're hoping that'll deflate the offense a little bit after they took the field charged up after taking over after a turnover.
Wilson's throw there complete to Hamler. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys that we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Henderson will try and run for the first. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down. Here's Wilson. Yeah, this is caught by Sutton. Touchdown, Broncos. A 16-yard touchdown. And the Broncos have moved out in front. McManus's point after is good. And that makes the score 14-7. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Been a little bit of an interesting start. The first drive for him, Charles, they had the passing touchdown. The second drive, he threw the interception. So we'll see what this third drive of the ball game brings.
Yeah, it's kind of a tiebreaker, isn't it? I mean, that's the tough part for them and for him because, yeah, things went really well in that first one, not so well on the second one. He wants to get back to what he did to get this game going.
On 1st and 10, here's Brady. Buying time to his left. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down. The Vikings at 6-2 to start play. They come in playing really well on both sides of the ball. They've won 6 of their last 8 CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Going for the deep ball. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And the Broncos are going to get possession of the football as time will run out on this first quarter of play. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And their last two drives, both ending in touchdowns. It's gotten them this 14-7 lead.
And it looks to me, and I think you're probably seeing the exact same thing, they're in an ideal spot now to create some separation. The way that they're functioning on offense now, they can create a pretty good gap. Allows their defense to play with a little more verve and confidence.
A big article in the paper this morning about them stringing possessions together for consecutive touchdowns. Well, right here, they're trying to make it 3 in a row. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And that one going to be off target and incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
On 2nd and 10, Wilson. This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 and a first down. Throwing again here, Wilson. This will be caught. Jeudy. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They go right back to him for 20 and a first. Throwing is Wilson. Touchdown, Broncos. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Broncos have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions, and they're a PAT from going up 21-7.
Yeah, very impressive the way that they've moved the football. Full command of their playbook, full command of the way they wanted to attack.
Extra point from McManus is good, and it's now 21-7.
Viking 7. Brandon McManus to kick off for Denver.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
But this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Michael O.J. Mudia. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards.
Well, when you're down a couple of scores like this, CD, you can't afford too many plays that go in the wrong direction like that one.
Yeah, when you take a good look at it broadly, sacks are better than giving up an interception. But where they are on the scoreboard, they've got to get rid of all of that and just create positive plays for themselves in order to have a chance.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Brady. Incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with a short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And Brady going to be intercepted a third time.
Picked by Chad Muma.
And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. McManus's point after is good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
Viking 7. Brendan McManus to kick off for Denver.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And in fact, we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings.
Sometimes running plays hit or break so fast, there's no reaction time from the secondary. So I've got to give credit to the offensive line for creating that hole so suddenly. And how decisive was he to take that cut and just go? No one downfield there to stop him.
Gonzalez good on the extra point, and that cuts the lead to 28-14. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away.
Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
And right now, we've got a little bit of an offensive masterpiece going on both sides, moving the football, scoring points. It's almost like somebody put the defense on rookie mode in this one. I mean, we haven't even left the first half, Charles, and we're certainly on pace for a shootout.
An excellent start for both offenses. The fans have to be enjoying this to see all these points go up on the board. As a former defender, you know I'm not enjoying this at all. But right now, both these teams just trading haymakers. Let's see if anyone slips up first. Can anyone counter with a nice little jab and get things going in their direction?
77 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
On first down, Wilson.
This is Hamler on the receiving end.
That'll give him 8 that time, and it'll be second in a couple.
Brings up second and 2 at the 37-yard line.
Now Wilson.
Pass complete to Judy on the out route.
And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. From Viking territory now, they'll come up first and 10 at the 44-yard line. Wilson. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. The penalty moves him into the red zone here on first and 10. To throw is Wilson. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Henderson.
And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
All defense is worried that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam coming out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were
touchdown. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Broncos have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
Vikings 14.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Finding room at midfield. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
That throw by Brady incomplete.
As soon as I saw him break contain and get outside, my first thought and my eyes gravitated downfield, because nowadays, most of these quarterbacks, when they do that, they want the big play downfield. They don't want to throw it short. In this case, he took the shot. It fell incomplete.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, the first 2 drives yielded touchdowns, so there's no reason for them to feel like they have to pull back on the reins. They pushed it downfield, looking for another one right there. Didn't get it, but we know they're going to continue to be bold.
And the tackle going to be made at the 41 as they stop him a few yards short of the first.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. Well, throw on first down with Wilson. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever.
And I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play, with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So that challenge, a successful one.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Wilson. Open man Hamler, that's complete. On the move past the 40. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. So the ball moves from 138 to the other as they come up on 1st and 10. Wilson. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
And they'll send the tight end in motion left. Again, Wilson. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
The kick by McManus is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter.
Brandon McManus, the kickoff for Denver.
The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game. I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going, trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the third quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Brady. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. That's taken on the 25. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. Here's Wilson to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the... Oh, he's hit, he lost the football, put it on the carpet. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Looking at it from the defense's perspective, they could have really used the football to try to start eating into this deficit.
Yeah, because now possession's so crucial at this stage of the game. And when you've got an opportunity to hop on a turnover and you don't get it, you can feel the frustration all the way up here.
And the offense, they're living right now. Another bounce and break that goes their way. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. An excellent gain, 35 yards.
That's a well-thrown ball right there. This is where arm strength pays off because he's got to be able to get the ball both downfield and to the sideline. And that's one of the more difficult throws for a quarterback, and he put it right where it needed to be.
To throw again is Wilson, rolling to his left.
They're going for Hamlin, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Lewis Seen.
And the Vikings are going to have it here just past the 25. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
Finding space at the 40, and he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Now, meanwhile, the throw by Brady knocked away, incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw.
Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That'll line up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down.
We'll put that one in the win column for the defense. Trying to contain tight ends in the passing game is so difficult nowadays, but they did in a big way there.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Brady. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone.
And, it's incomplete. Oh, that would have been 6 points, but somehow he couldn't rein it in.
So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused.
Touchdown, Vikings!
Justin Jefferson.
His 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Vikings are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and the lead will be cut down to 14. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in the second half.
From the 29, Wilson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and get the football right back because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
On third down, Wilson.
Got a man. It's Judy, complete.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. He's now just 3 yards shy of 197 yards receiving on the contest and a first down. Now Williams running left to about the 40-yard line.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now it's Wilson.
A throw left side, hold in by Hamler.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Now Wilson on first down. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end, complete.
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. That last throw right there putting him already over 3,000 passing yards now for the campaign.
And given where we are in the season, Brandon, you have to think to yourself, if he stays healthy, I think 4,000 is a given. I think 5,000 is not out of the question if he stays high.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. They'll go back to Henderson on first down. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 2 now from the 3.
Again, it's Williams. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back.
It looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for 1st and goal.
Wilson on the keeper. And no signal, but I don't think he got the surge behind center. No, he's going to be kept out of the end zone. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down.
Williams will score. Touchdown, Broncos. Well, nothing fancy there, Charles. You had 3 tight ends on the field. They were going to run the football. The defense knew it, but the defense couldn't stop them.
And I haven't met an offensive line yet that doesn't get more satisfaction out of running the football into the end zone than pass protecting. They had determination on their side, and they got it done.
Brandon McManus, the kickoff for Denver.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And their 4-game win streak very much in jeopardy as they go to work here late with a 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Play action. Now it's Brady. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards. So the big play gets them across midfield now for 1st and 10. Brady now to throw. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Oh, he can't get away, and Brady will go down. Randy Gregory in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
You can almost see all the defenders rubbing their hands together with glee because we all know they relish the chance to bring down a quarterback of his caliber. Anyone who brings him down has plenty to talk about. Not just a sack, but a big win built off the efforts of this defense.
The Vikings on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and a mile. Brady. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Hey, 66. Let's go up. No, 66.
Now Brady got to have this one. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. And this is taken in at the 5. Touchdown, Broncos. A great effort there. 42 yards. And the Broncos are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. McManus's point after is good, and that'll increase their lead to 28.
24. Brandon McManus, the kickoff for Denver.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And Patterson not going to return this. It'll come out to the 25.
25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the
And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today.
And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. He exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And, Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball, and that one was picked off.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because...
And Wilson's going to be intercepted a third time.
It's Tariq Castro-Fields who picked it, and the Vikings are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7.
Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. The throw on second down by Brady is incomplete.
We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Throwing is Brady on third down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll go out of bounds just shy of the 20. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
With this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline, because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
Again, it's Brady.
Swinging this out wide here for Cook.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. And the tight end goes in motion left. Brady looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game. And that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
Brady to throw again. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
He's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And able to use his stiff arm for a little bit of leverage before he's taken down. A pretty good gain.
That's a gain of 7. Brings up 3rd.
Brady going to try and throw on 3rd down. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 38-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 38. Again, they'll throw with Brady. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. I guess at this point, Charles, heck, why not take some shots?
I would agree with that totally because a big play can't hurt at all. Heck, you might get a pass interference call out of it. Somehow the ball might get tipped up and you come down with it. Might not do too much for the result of the game, but it could add to your stats.
Brady's throw there complete. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 13-yard line. Into the red zone, it's Brady. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
In the red zone, precision is the watchword. If the throw's a little too early, too late, maybe off a little bit, going to be a good chance that any attempt is going to be a contested one, and that one falls incomplete.
Now we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Now Brady. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Randy Gregory able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack, just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Broncos will take over on downs. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. A good start to the drive here as that's caught out on the left side. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. Wilson wants to throw it. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down. The CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Here's Wilson. Got a man complete. It's Hamler. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
And the Broncos first down.
To throw is Wilson. He'll go up top here for Hamler. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So this one will wind up a Denver victory.
Charles, for this losing side, their heads are hanging as they walk off the field today. And really, I mean, we know why. Those 3 turnovers by that offense, that's ultimately what doomed them.
And this is what coaches preach all the time to every team that we ever talk with. Taking care of the ball on offense, trying to take it away on defense. And let's face it, when you give it away 3 times in one game, you make it very difficult for your team to get the W.
So for the Broncos, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Buffalo to take on the Bills. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, the loss will drop them to 6-3 now on the year. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Atlanta Falcons come to town.
God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted. East Coast, the 6'4s hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands, deep up in them trenches. It's no difference. Neither one play games when swinging for them fences. We want the finer things that's expensive. To hit them either close range or at a distance. If God for me, why bother? I got my game from the Godfather. Top of the food chain, rock bottom. And handle my business when it was my problem. G. Flossing with a gold chain. I got my Turkish rope with matching gold things. Bomber jacket in the winter, it's a cold game. I met some East Coast up in Spokane. Some of the realest in this dope game. I got my curly top looking like special ed. Clean fade on the side, bumping that red head. Clean tags when I ride, ducking the feds. East Coast, they get that bread. You you end up dead. Then West Coast, they leave that spray. And now you got all in your dread head.
If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict.